reading really quick. This is after Natalie's paid for the release or the regurgitation of the Longines mail-in interview that she paid to have published. So yeah, we're gonna do this reading now. We're gonna see what's coming in next, what the plans are. I'm gonna see what's gonna end up happening to Natalie first and foremost. So what happens to Natalie publicly now that she's pushed this agenda? Clarify what happens to Natalie. And we all know this is her way of investing herself. She's trying to see if she can hold on to the foundations in the situation. This is why she's doing this with the rumors. The Four of Wands here. Four of Pentacles. She's trying to see if she can hold on to the foundations around a situation by pushing this, oh, Henry's the father of my daughter shit, you know. Because she's obviously not engaged. Like she tried to insinuate through her stands and then all through her media. And now that's all being debunked as lies. And then her stands are also being debunked and being seen as liars as well. So she's stressing out. The Nine of Swords, she's actually really stressed out, guys, because she's trying to push for this paid article shit impulsively. Now she got some money from Ralph Lauren's apparel over here. So let's see what's going to end up happening to Natalie now that she's done this. Clarify. Oh, shut up. Oh my god, I'm laughing at her because it's so hilarious. The very sources she wants us to believe are mentioning Henry talking about the daughter, also mentioned the daughter was born in January. We all know the baby wasn't born in January. It's too late now. I've already released articles that are saying that it was born in January. Can't change it now. Everyone knows you're lying. Clarify. Clarify what's happening now without interference. Let's see. Clarify if Natalie's going to be removed still. Let's ask that question. Clarify. Oh, we got Six of Wands reversed. Oh boy. We got a lot of people aren't going to be very supportive of her right now. Because she can't, they're saying she won't be able to argue about something here. There's not a lot of support. Six of Wands is most likely the fan base not supporting her. She's stressing out. She knows that nobody's gonna fucking rally behind her. The sword, so her illusions that she's spinning around herself. That's her challenge right now. What's going to end up happening to her? Okay, so you got the World reversed, and then we've got the Six of Pentacles reversed. So, she's got some serious problems with her stability now. Clarify this World reversed, please. And by the way, guys, this all proves that she's forcing it. It proves it. She didn't get her way with the engagement publicly, so now this is how she's doing Henry right now. She's trying to have Henry be forced to admit to a daughter's existence. Because she couldn't get her way with the engagement. Make sure everyone knows, by the way. Make sure everyone knows the story Natalie's been trying to sell to us. Make sure everyone knows all the details. For example, her announcing the initial pregnancy, expecting a child back in April 15, 2024. Make sure everyone knows that is the date she went public with her fake pregnancy. Make sure everyone knows 5 days prior to that, she had no belly whatsoever. Make sure everyone fucking knows that. And then make sure everyone knows that 2 months later, July, late July, we'll say, almost like basically August, she publishes a pap walk of herself and Henry, her with a giant fucking belly, right? 9-month belly ready to pop. And she insinuated she was on the way to the nursery to give birth, right? With the scaffolding going on in the background, correct? We can go back, there's evidence online to show, and this is all factual, that scaffolding was only up during the month April and no later than May 31st, 2024. So that belly, that pap walk was not possible without a fake belly. I'm just pointing that out. Everyone should know that. Everyone should know that by now. If you don't know that, go look it up. Go look it up on the internet. Go just do some digging. This woman does not have a child. She doesn't have a daughter. She fakes a pregnancy. We have a lot of pictures that prove that she's faked it. Okay, there's photos of herself around the time of the announcement where she's like, you know, they're leaving the hotel to get onto an airplane, or they get into a car, basically. Henry puts the bags in between him and her, and she's obviously walking out in this 2-piece black, professional suit, right? Where she has the belly, and then we get to the airport, and there's pictures of herself and Henry with her wearing the same exact outfit like 2 hours later, and she has no belly. The belly dissipates, it's gone. And the reason why that photo surfaced is because they had to go through fucking security at the airport. She couldn't wear the fake belly through security. So there it is. You guys can go find those pictures, and if you don't see those pictures online, you need to find out who has them, and people need to share them. Okay, because that was around the exact time that she had announced her pregnancy. She did the pap walk video and everything the day of announcement. So there is no lying, there is no manipulation there. The only person that was lying was her. And then 5 days prior, there was an article that was published of her in eating, or supposedly on a date night. And we got the driver in the rearview mirror over here on the side mirror. You could see him in the picture. She doesn't have a belly. This is before she did the belly stunt. 5 days after that picture, that article was published, she did the initial pregnancy announcement. So everyone should know those specific details about how it came out, the news came out. And then you all should know that the pictures of her with the giant belly, 9-month belly, were actually taken no later than May 31st because of the scaffolding. The construction that was going on in the background proves that it was taken back in April and before, no later than May 31st. It wasn't taken in July like she was trying to sell to the public. I'm just letting y'all know. Y'all need to understand those details right there. That right there debunks her child being 6 months old before January. I'm telling you. She's pushing these articles right now. She wants everyone to believe that she gave birth in January all of a sudden, right? She may try to change it and be like, the child was born 6 months before January. Because she's still trying to go with the timeline of the 9-month belly as well. And just in case people are figuring it out, okay? So right now they're publicly, with this new recent sighting with her at the tennis event, they're talking about her having given birth in January. And then now it's a daughter, all right? Just letting y'all know. She pops up with a year-old child. We know that she's lying. We still know she's lying if she's got a year-old child, because that timeline from 2024 does not add up still. She couldn't have been 9 months pregnant and also 4 months pregnant within the same time of announcement. That's not possible. Okay, that's not biologically possible. She's lying about it. Trust me. And it doesn't matter if she's sitting here paying these paid articles where she's making it seem like Henry said that the daughter exists. It doesn't matter. Those are paid. Those are paid articles. She's paying out of pocket for people to say certain things. And of course, Henry has his inputs. But it doesn't mean that that came from Henry. You can go and look at her timeline and see how her timeline from last year does not add up. And it doesn't add up for January this year either. So it just proves that she's the one fucking lying. She's trying to sell this bullshit. And then I also want to point out there's 2 pictures of her, Henry, and the nanny where she's wearing all this white and Henry's wearing a beige hat and pretty much wearing white clothing. He's holding the baby to his chest. There's 2 different versions of that photo circulating, and then she tried to say that was in Italy. That was the appearance before this last one of the tennis event, Wimbledon. In Italy, she insinuated that these photos were taken by the Paps. These 2 photos they're 2 different versions of the same AI generated photograph, because one of them doesn't show the babysitter and it's the same exact position of Henry and Natalie. You can tell that somebody copied and pasted the babysitter into the photos or removed her. There's 2 different photos, and then people have run it through software and they could tell that it was 99% a deep fake, so which means it was an AI generated photograph. But anyways, so that's something new y'all need to be paying and looking out for. Those are 2 photographs that y'all need to look at. If you think Henry is holding a baby of hers in those photographs, let me just tell you right now, there's 2 different versions of that photograph. There's only one photograph that she tried to insinuate was around the time Italy was going on. Her stands were pushing it, the engagement shit alongside that photograph as well. And now she's been reverted back to girlfriend and partner status. She's been wearing this ring for a couple months now, and there's been no public confirmation of engagement. And let me just make sure everyone knows, has it noted down, that before the award ceremony, February 7th, Henry told me he was not going to publicly confirm the engagement. He did not, to this day, has not confirmed the engagement to Natalie. If anything, he's reverted, he's gone back on things, and he's made it seem like he never said it. It was never insinuated from him. It's unofficial. It's not credible, is what they're deeming it as, not credible in the news. And there's, everything's up to date now. So there's no mistake. So make sure everyone knows that. Make sure everyone knows the details of that shit. Before y'all sit here and be like, oh, well, Henry has a daughter. Make sure you're asking the right questions and looking up at all the gossip right now, because trust me, there's evidence. There's a lot of hardcore evidence. It's not fake. It's undeniable proof that she's lying. But anyways, let me see. What time is it here? Okay, I got a few minutes, so let me finish my reading here. So yeah, she's stuck by her illusions right now. Her world's flipping. Looks like 6 of Pentacles reversed. Also, the lack of kindness, generosity. There may be an issue. What's harvested is her instability, insecurity around Henry, because of what's being made known, or what's being people are aware of concerning Henry right now. 3 of Cups reversed. There's a lack of celebration. Clarify. Maybe it's because they know that she doesn't have a wedding this month, like she also tried to insinuate through her stance. And then I want to also point out the thing about the stance is, like, she would first insinuate things to her stance accounts and stuff, and then do stuff in public. So people could see that Natalie was in fact working with her stance. Now her stans are obviously lying, okay? And now a lot of that stuff's being debunked. Like all her stands, all the comments they were making, the defense of Natalie, all the stuff that they were pushing, all of it's been debunked. Okay, besides the daughter shit that they try to push. Okay, because she had just posted these paid articles to try and make it seem like Henry's commented on a daughter. But like I said, make sure y'all remember, y'all note the details from last year. Undeniable proof. You can't say that July photograph with her with the giant belly and the gray long ugly ass skirt was taken in July, August, because it wasn't. The scaffolding, the construction in the background proves it, that it was taken no later than May 31st, 2024. She did not give birth in January either. We all know that she didn't. She's been carrying around a baby that's at least 6 months, or she'd been using a baby that was 6 months old in public, a couple of stunts. So either way, she's screwed. If she tries to say it's a year old, she's screwed. If she tries to say it's 6 months from January, she's screwed. She's lying. Clarify what is going to end up happening. Here, let me show you all the... She's insecure, so she harvests money, but she's very unstable. Okay, and it's because people know that there's no celebration, there's nothing. After all, people are laughing right now because she tried to say that she was engaged at the time and that there was a July wedding. There's no fucking wedding in July, and I told you guys back in June there wouldn't be a fucking July wedding. Her world's upside down, the lack of generosity, her challenges, her illusions that she spun around herself. She's very much stressed out. This is her losing sleep. People are not going to be encouraging this bullshit. People are not going to be rallying and believing her. She's not going to be able to lie or argue anymore because her stands have been debunked as liars. You know, debunked as having insider information. They've been exposed for lying, basically. We got the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So this is her way of trying to hold on to the foundations around the situation through the rumor mills. So these paid articles are no more than her trying to hold on tightly to the situation. She's losing control. She's being tied up because there's no July wedding. We got this, the Hanged Man upright, and then we have 3 Cups reversed. So she's being bound or held up because there's no actual wedding or celebration that she tried to insinuate through her stands. And believe me, she did. She's the one that had her stands say it all. She went and posted the garden pictures, too. I want to point that out, too. They were first saying, oh, the backyard of Cotswold looks like they're setting up a wedding. There's flowers and blah, 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 garden, blah, blah, blah. And then she went and posted on her official page flowers and garden, the backyard garden, wait, through her stands that, oh, it would be per wedding venue, right? While she was dropping hints in Miss Fix that she was supposedly going to have a July wedding. And also through her Riot Andrea account that she was going to have a July wedding. She tried to say that through her stand, and then she went and posted certain things to underline those rumors on her official page. So we have without a doubt in our minds, we know that she's behind all that. So she can't just turn around and be like, oh, they were just saying that stuff. No, no, no. It was her saying it through the stands, having them post it. She was working alongside them doing it all. And now we're basically at the end of July and there's no fucking wedding. They were straight up lying. So yeah, she's being held up, tied up because of that 3 of Cups reverse, the lack of a wedding. Now we're going to ask again, just for the sake of it, is Henry getting married to Natalie? They show me Ace of Cups reversed. Sadly, no. Upsetting. How upsetting. She's very upset over it. 7 of Swords. She's upset because people... It's not in quiet mode anymore. The 4 of Swords reversed. The 7 of Swords upright. It's not in quiet mode anymore that she was being a little schemer. 7 of Swords is cheating, lying, scheming, stealing. Taking off with communications, trying to basically strategize with shady or sneaky behaviors. Or taking off with something here. It's not in quiet mode. People know about it now. She had been doing this. And she tried to secure herself an Ace of Wands. She tried to secure herself this opportunity. But it looks like she does not get a July wedding at all. Clarify if Natalie's going to have an October wedding. Because she tried to insinuate to my direct inbox that she's still going to have an October wedding. We're going to see. Clarify if Natalie's going to have an October wedding. I got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Looks like she's going to be stressing out in October too because of her investments. She's got a misfortune card and Wheel of Fortune reversed. It shows here that somebody's not so generous and nothing of that nature is off. She's not an ideal apple for Henry. Nothing. Maybe she don't have the money to do something or something like that. The lack of generosity, and she's stressing out. She had paid or invested into something here. And we got a misfortune. So, I mean, I don't think it's going the way she wants it to go. Here she is upset because it's not a secret anymore. She was being a shady little bitch to try to secure herself this opportunity. They're saying that she's being tied up because of the lack of that July wedding. What's going to end up happening? What is the end result of these paid articles that were just released? Three of Pentacles reversed. It looks like Henry's just not going to cooperate. We got the lack of cooperation. Three of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Wands. He may be trying to clean up the mess that she started. Let's see. Page of Cups reversed. The Knight of Swords reversed. The Four of Cups reversed. So he may be considering rejecting this news. The challenge is the tangibility of something. Seven of Pentacles. Something paying off. And then it shows here King of Pentacles with the Hermit. So he's going to be a ghost in that situation, or just going to isolate away from it. Because we got a Queen of Cups reversed. So we got an unstable emotional train wreck over here. Clarify, what does Henry end up saying about these paid articles and stuff? What does he end up saying? The ones that she's producing right now. I mean, it's going to look bad on him because everyone's going to know that she straight up lied about the pregnancy. But for him to sit there and, you know, be tied into all the lying is going to make him look bad. Eight of Cups. So he walks away from the situation, apparently. Queen of Wands reversed. He's leaving a situation. Clarify who he's leaving. Clarify what he's walking away from, please. We got a tower challenge, so he's going through a tower. There's a big blow up. Clarify what is Henry walking away from. We got the moon and then the star. He's going to be leaving behind something that's supposed to move something into a calmer direction around rumors. Maybe he doesn't take action. We got the Wands reversed, and then the Six of Pentacles reversed. And then we got the Empress upright. He takes no action whatsoever. And it looks like he's choosing not to be generous to this Empress. So he's leaving we got Five of Cups. The one that's struggling, the engagement rumors, they're saying Two of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. And then Eight of Wands, upright, the Magician reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, and then the challenge is Two of Cups. So it's going to appear that Natalie definitely manipulating these paid articles, or having this news release. It's going to appear to everybody that that's exactly what she's doing. People are going to know and recognize that Natalie straight up is the one releasing this news. She's manipulating this stuff to be sit out. And then we got Ten of Swords reversed, or where she's trying to unstuck herself. Okay, she's trying to see if she can get Henry in a tight spot in the media. And then we got the challenges Two of Cups. So the challenge is actually having a mutual relationship, or a mutual connection, or an engagement, or whatever higher level commitment is her challenge. They're saying that she's disappointed. She's crying over spilt milk over here, Five of Cups. Because she's been juggling this engagement thing. She may be upset right now because of that. She had juggled this engagement thing, and then now they're having difficulty with the situation with these new articles. It just shows that Henry's not being generous. So y'all can see him. Henry's not taking action to be generous. The Empress, or she's right here, is the one manipulating these communications to be released, to unscrew herself. And then we got the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is crossing, so it's sideways. The Five of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So they're confirming, when I asked who's the Empress, they said Five of Cups, Two of Pentacles. They're basically confirming the woman that's been juggling this engagement. Okay, so she's the one that's releasing this news, not Henry. She's the one paying for these articles to push this narrative, and she's hoping that it will unstuck her. But it's showing here that Henry ends up walking away from the situation publicly. Clarify what ends up happening, right down to the detail if I can. Let me see what time I have. Okay, I got a few minutes here. 3:03 p.m. Clarify what does Henry end up doing? Okay, we got the King of Wands reversed, the Two of Cups reversed. Clarify what does Henry end up doing? Sorry, let me try that again because those cards were just out. Clarify. Let's shuffle this really quick. What does Henry end up doing because of these paid articles that she's paying right now that mention the daughter? She's basically trying to have him officially release news of the daughter, right? So let's see what's going to happen with all that. What's going to end up happening. What ends up happening? Clarify without interference. They're going to have a hard time spinning out of this one. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, so this came out of nowhere. It shows the Ace of Cups, the Tower. Three of Cups reversed. The challenge is the Eight of Swords again. And it shows King of Swords upright, blocking off Four of Pentacles. It's really interesting. They show that he's not going to cooperate. He's not going to take action to cooperate with whatever's going on here. He's going to be choosing to try to clean up what he can with his own announcements here. It shows that he's not going to... It shows that he's blocking, basically, attaching himself to the situation. The King of Swords is blocking off Four of Pentacles. He's trying to block off his attachment, investment with something he communicates. And they say that this news came unexpectedly out of the blue. It's caused a big tower, a big blow up, because now there's Three of Cups reversed. There's a lot of disharmony over this right now, and lack of support. The challenge is the Eight of Swords. The whole thing is illusions, so I can see how that's a challenge. And it shows that he doesn't take action to cooperate. And then it shows Ten of Wands, so he's going to end up choosing. And the fear is the motivator for him to want to get what he can and clean up his mess. Clean up the mess here around the announcement. Okay? So he's going to want to try to clean it up somehow. Let's ask how he does that. How does Henry clean up the mess around this announcement that just took place? How does Henry Cavill clean up the mess around this announcement that she just paid to have pushed? Okay, we got the Hanged Man and then the Eight of Cups upright again. So he ties something up, he puts something in suspension and walks away from something, and then Two of Wands here is about PR stunts. He's brainstorming right now, but it shows a PR stunt will be decided most likely, and then Ten of Cups reversed will be what's reflected. So it will appear that the daughter isn't, maybe this isn't a family thing. Maybe the star doesn't have a legacy. Ten of Pentacles reversed. It may be seen, or maybe publicly revealed somehow that this child isn't actually his. This idea of his is gonna screw over Natalie's shit, that's for sure. We got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Challenge, Four of Cups. So it shows here that it will be unstable. So him having a child with her publicly will be uncertain, or there will be the lack of tangibility or something like that. But it shows here that publicly it will be recognized that Henry doesn't have a legacy. Ten of Pentacles reversed. This Ten of Pentacles would be his legacy. That would be his family. The same with the Ten of Cups if it were upright. These two cards came out reversed. And then the Star, and it says this will be acknowledged publicly. That he doesn't have a family with her, and that this legacy isn't his. And then we got Ace of Pentacles reversed. So there's a lack of tangibility, lack of commitment, lack of further investment, lack of foundation here. He may quietly drop some hints here. They're saying he's going to be dropping hints quietly that this is, let me see, so he can remove the stress around this news. It turns out that he walks away from this somehow. We got a King of Swords reversed. People may just see Henry as simply lying about this child. King of Cups reversed, and that's why he's acting fickle. And it's not like he's being very supportive, right? Knight of Wands reversed. And then the Lovers reversed. So it shows that he doesn't take action somehow, and then it may seem like that it's not his. But according to the cards, it shows here that the truth will come out unexpectedly or spontaneously. And that whole agenda she was pushing with those paid articles becomes uprooted. The Knight of Wands reversed here. It all is undone somehow. What is Henry going to say publicly, if any? Let's see if he's going to say anything publicly. What is Henry going to say publicly, if any? Okay, they just say he doesn't take action around this child, this son. The Empress reversed. So it may be deemed that Natalie is in fact just taking advantage of the situation here. We got the Three of Swords and the Knight of Swords, so it may get out. There may be a news release or press release that perhaps she cheated and there's a separation or something like that. The child isn't his. There's some kind of news that's news of betrayal in regards to what he does about this publicly. They also say nothing is moved into a calmer direction. So whatever she was attempting to do with this stuff is only going to rally discouragement and the lack of support. So they're saying that Natalie's little investment there rallies the lack of to direct it or move it into a calmer direction. If anything, there's hardships. So yeah, this is what ends up happening. They show him not taking action, the son around this child. And then we got this Empress reverse. So it's clear that Natalie's straight up taking advantage of the situation. And then there's this Three of Swords tied to a Knight of Swords, which is news or announcements or something of that nature. News of betrayal, news of cheating, infidelity, something like that. They will say that there's no legacy publicly around him. Everything's insecure around this family situation. This is the lack of harmony, the lack of being a family. The truth will come out spontaneously, or there will be a news spontaneously, unexpectedly even, of something becoming undone, uprooted. And then we got Two of Wands and the Seven of Cups here. So there will be another PR stunt, most likely, which is going to reflect Henry leaving a situation somehow, or tying something up. The challenge is him being closed off and not being responsive to people. So, and people, like I said, will probably just see it as Henry lying on behalf of Natalie. Most likely. He's obviously not the father. He's not being very supportive. But it's showing that he's lying somehow, and by taking no action. And then we have the Lovers reverse, so the lack of there being a mutual situation here. So I feel like that has to do with him not really being lovers with her, and then people will see it as Henry just straight up lying. Even though it was Natalie who technically pushed the paid articles, people will still be like, oh, Henry lied about this child. What is Henry planning on doing with Amy Denton? Let's look at that really quick. What is Henry Cavill planning on doing with Amy Denton? Clarify. What does Henry Cavill plan on doing with Amy Denton? They show the Judgment here, so this is probably me blowing the trumpet, because I am. Clarify what Henry ended up doing about Amy Denton. Two of Cups. Oh my God. Alright, so I got the Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Two of Cups. So he announces something, or there may be a broadcast of some kind. It may just be me. My public declarations, my public posts, everything is actually turning things in my favor. Clarify. What does Henry do about me? Does he want to shut Amy down? Let's look at that. Is Henry trying to shut Amy down? Okay, so we got the Empress reverse, the Three of Swords. So if anything, he's betraying Natalie publicly, the star here, because she's not an ideal apple. And then they say these actions that are being taken will make people mindful. We got Eight of Wands here, communications. Five of Wands, people are going to be aware of the arguing and fighting, the conflicts that are going on between Natalie and I, apparently. People will recognize that perhaps Henry did, in fact, separate from Natalie. It shows Three of Cups reversed as like infidelity, so people may perceive the situation as Natalie getting cheated on, or just Henry just not being with Natalie. And then like the lack of harmony. And then it shows the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, the Four of Swords. So secretly or quietly, Henry's still investing in the news around me. So it shows here he's fully committed to this news of me, you know, basically release what I've been releasing. But he's been telling me when we're alone, the Four of Swords here. The news that I've been getting, I've been posting quiet, that has been in quiet mode. Now it's public. He's going to continue investing into that. And then it shows People may recognize publicly that Natalie isn't exactly his idol apple. They're also going to see Natalie as stressing out about me because she's delusional and she wants to block off my energy or block off people knowing about me. What ends up manifesting is Ace of Cups reverse. So Natalie gets the rejection. She's not Henry's lover. So people will start seeing it as a situation like Henry's actually my lover, right? People will say that. Well, Henry's actually secretly with Amy and Natalie's just like lying. You know, people are going to see it for what it is. So Henry ends up freeing himself out of the situation with her. And then apparently he continues investing into having me release news quietly to uncriticized self. Ten of Swords reversed. So he's undoing the damage Natalie's causing by giving me messages. So it just kind of proves it right here. Yeah, and that's how he moves into a calmer direction. It shows here he ends up dropping hints or dropping tidbits of information, and that's how he moves the direction. Moves it into a calmer direction with me and him. So he unsticks himself from the situation with Natalie. People will see it as Natalie, him and Natalie separating, or there may be, honestly, I think there's going to be separation news or something like that. Because of infidelity, and people may suspect that that child isn't Henry's after all. And then I'm seeing Henry just giving me the information, and then I'm just kind of announcing it, which directs it into a positive direction, aligns me more into a Two of Cups. So yeah, people will know that Henry's not with Natalie. She's not an idol apple, based off the communications and then the arguing and fighting that's going on publicly. And then Three of Cups. So people will say, oh, well, Natalie had sex with somebody else and had gotten pregnant. Infidelity, and Henry sleeping with Amy. People are going to recognize that Natalie's insecure, delusional, and trying to block me off. She's trying to block off my communications with officialness. Her official communications or stuff that she's pushing. And then it shows here what ends up manifesting is her getting turned or rejected. And then her no longer being Henry's lover. So, I mean, it shows it here what ends up happening in the situation. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end result. And then Henry apparently untethers himself from the situation with Natalie and is able to move forward into a Two of Cups with me, apparently. And people will realize that Natalie's been fighting with me because I'm involved with Henry. I'm his lover, and she's just obviously a liar. But anyways, there it is. I've got to go to work. Thanks for watching. I got more readings coming. I will be posting them soon. Stay tuned.